Hi. Want to see your mom?
It's okay. It's okay.
Reacher Season 3 looks like it'll follow the same formula as the first two seasons in a few key ways. Since it's adapting Lee Child's Persuader, we can expect it to bring in some fresh elements that the previous seasons didn't have. The creators have probably learned from past mistakes, so they might avoid some of the missteps that held Seasons 1 and 2 back. With a brand new setting and a whole new lineup of characters, Season 3 is shaping up to feel different and exciting. But despite all the changes, it'll still have a lot in common with its predecessors. Based on the Persuader storyline, Season 3 will share three major similarities with the earlier seasons, some of which could be great for the show, while others might hold it back. So, let's dive into everything we know so far. In Reacher Season 3, Jack Reacher once again finds himself on a mission for revenge, just like he did in the previous two seasons. While he often helps strangers out of a strong sense of justice, his personal motivations have consistently been rooted in avenging someone he cared about. In Season 1, Reacher initially has no plans to stay in the small town of Margrave, he's just passing through. But when he discovers that his brother Joe was murdered and that the town's corrupt elite are behind it, his mission quickly turns into one of vengeance. He takes on the criminals responsible, ensuring that justice is served while making them pay for what they did. Season 2 follows a similar pattern. This time, Reacher is reunited with Neagley after members of their old military unit, the 110th Special Investigations Unit, start getting killed off. As they dig deeper, they uncover a massive arms-dealing conspiracy linked to their fallen comrades. Once again, Reacher's quest for justice turns personal as he seeks revenge for his former teammates. Now, Season 3 will continue this theme, with Reacher going after a former military intelligence officer named Francis Xavier Quinn. Years ago, Quinn was responsible for the brutal murder of a military police officer named Dominique Cole, someone Reacher had worked with and respected. At the time, Reacher believed Quinn was dead and that justice had already been served. However, when he learns that Quinn is still alive and just as ruthless as ever, Reacher sets out to take him down once and for all. Across all three seasons, a clear pattern emerges. Reacher's pursuit of justice is often intertwined with a deep personal loss, leading him into dangerous situations. His enemies are never just random criminals, there's always a personal connection that makes his fight feel even more urgent. Whether it's his brother, his former teammates, or an old friend, Reacher's desire for vengeance repeatedly puts him in the crosshairs of some of the most dangerous criminals. As Season 3 unfolds, it'll be interesting to see how this cycle continues and whether Reacher will ever break free from it. For now, though, one thing is certain: where there's injustice, Reacher won't hesitate to step in, especially when it's personal. Reacher Season 3 continues the pattern established in previous seasons, where Jack Reacher's pursuit of justice is deeply personal, fueled by revenge. But this time, he's up against an even more dangerous foe. While Quinn is the main antagonist, he won't be the only threat standing in Reacher's way. The season's trailers have already introduced Polly, a towering figure who is set to be Reacher's most physically formidable opponent yet. Unlike past seasons, where Reacher's enemies were smart but often physically outmatched, Polly is a different kind of obstacle. Standing at nearly 7 feet tall, he has the kind of sheer strength that even someone like Reacher will struggle against. However, much like Langston in Season 1 and KJ Kilner in Season 2, Polly won't be the true mastermind, just another obstacle on the road to Quinn. This suggests that Quinn, like the villains before him, may not be working alone. If past seasons are anything to go by, there's a good chance Quinn is answering to someone even more powerful, setting up a much bigger conflict for Reacher to unravel. Of course, Reacher's story isn't just about taking down bad guys, it's also about his complicated personal life. Season 1 hinted at something meaningful between Reacher and Roscoe with their heartfelt farewell and his promise that she was the only reason he'd ever return to Margrave. But in true Reacher fashion, he moved on in Season 2, forming a connection with Carla Dixon before parting ways with her as well. Season 3 will likely follow the same pattern, as Reacher teams up with DEA agent Sarah Duffy, Susan Duffy in the book. If the show remains faithful to Persuader, Reacher and Duffy will develop a romantic connection, but it will ultimately be another fleeting relationship. Reacher isn't the type to settle down, and his wandering lifestyle makes lasting relationships nearly impossible. Looking at the bigger picture, Season 3 continues the themes that have defined Reacher so far: personal revenge, powerful enemies, and short-lived romance. But with an even more dangerous villain, a brutal physical challenge in Polly, and another one-off love interest, the stakes feel higher than ever. As Reacher once again finds himself caught in a web of crime and personal vendettas, the real question is whether he'll ever break free from this cycle, or if he's destined to keep chasing justice on the open road forever. Having said that, let's talk about how many seasons Prime Video's Reacher show will have. Well, if you think about it, Reacher is currently renewed for Season 4, meaning Prime Video's hit action show has at least 2 more seasons on the way. Although there's no confirmation on exactly how long Reacher intends to run, it's clear that the series will continue for a few more years. The fact that Season 3 hasn't even hit screens yet, and a 4th season is already locked in, speaks volumes about Prime Video's confidence in the show. More importantly, it confirms that audiences are heavily invested, making a longer run seem likely. Of course, one of the biggest factors in determining how long Reacher can go is the sheer amount of source material available. With Season 3 set to adapt Persuader, the show will have covered just 3 books in the massive Jack Reacher series. That still leaves a whopping 26 other novels to explore, with a total of 29 books already published. The 30th installment is set to hit shelves in October 2025, meaning that, theoretically, the show could continue for decades, though it's unlikely Prime Video will adapt every single novel. For starters, the show will probably avoid One Shot and Never Go Back, since those were already used in the Tom Cruise-led movies. Still, even if some books are skipped, there's no shortage of material to keep the series going for years to come. Even better, Reacher follows the same structure as the books. Each season has a mostly self-contained story with a new cast of characters, while maintaining continuity in Reacher's journey. This approach allows the show to stay fresh without being bogged down by overly complex, long-running arcs. Realistically, the series can continue as long as Prime Video and Alan Ritchson wanted to. Even if the books stop at 30, there's still enough material to last well over a decade. In fact, at the current pace of adapting 1 book per season, it would take nearly 3 decades to cover everything, assuming no more books are written in the meantime. Given Prime Video's history, Reacher is already deep into its lifespan by the platform's usual standards, as the streaming service doesn't tend to keep shows running for too long. However, Reacher has proven to be an exception thanks to its high viewership and strong reception. Right now, Bosch holds the title as Prime Video's longest-running original series with 7 seasons and multiple spin-offs. Since Reacher is in a similar genre and based on a beloved book series, it has the potential to match, or even surpass, that record. However, to do so, it will need to maintain its momentum and continue pulling in strong ratings. Fortunately, things are looking promising for Reacher. The wait between Seasons 2 and 3 is much shorter than the nearly 2-year gap between the first 2, indicating a quicker production pace. If this continues, the series could last 8 seasons or more, with Ritchson in the role for another decade. Given its success, Reacher might follow Jack Ryan's path into films. Unlike Tom Cruise's version, Ritchson's Reacher has a richer world and stronger supporting characters, making a movie adaptation plausible. Whether through TV or film, Reacher's future is bright, with Season 3 set to premiere on February 20th, 2025. And that's it for today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I'll be bringing you more updates on whether Reacher will get a Season 5, which book might be turned into a movie, and plenty more news about your favorite series and films.